Oregon beats USC 42-27. Will Stein, Dante Moore, this Ducks offense is humming. They're getting things rolling, and they looked extremely dominant in the win against USC. Now, historically, we know USC hasn't always been the best defense. Now, I do like D'Anton Lynn. I think they're getting better, but clearly Oregon in this offense and Will Stein's mastermind of a game plan was too much for the Trojans this week. I thought Dante Moore played a pretty good game, all things considered. But the silver lining in this one, and really the biggest storyline for me, was Oregon's 179 yards on the ground. In that second half, the Ducks were able to lean on the run game, take a little bit of pressure off Dante Moore, in a game that was fairly close. The final score may not entirely show that, but I liked what we saw out of Oregon's offense. So that's enough talking. Let's get into the film room, and let's check out what Oregon did, and we're doing a film review on the Oregon offense. First play here, let's get right into it. Slant route. Dante Moore reads the linebacker, sees the window, hits this thing. We get a huge pickup on first down, second down, actually, for that matter. What in the world happened here? How did Dante Moore get this thing into a beautiful window? Right off the bat, one deep safety. So USC showing us what looks like a cover one man. We're also going to see them kind of shift this thing around. So I want you guys to take a peek here. We're going to see them drop back right off the bat, and we're immediately running deep. We're going to stay in this underneath flat. But the biggest thing is Dante Moore's eyes. Again, I'm suspecting he's probably thinking this is going to be man-to-man coverage. Now, even in man-to-man, oftentimes the slant is usually open. The biggest thing is going to be, here's your key. What kind of read is he playing? Is he playing more of an inside shoulder, which would be an inside read? Is he playing more outside? Is he head up on him? In this case, it looks like he's a little bit head up. But what Dante Moore does here extremely well is there's two main reads, right? It's going to be these two guys right here, okay? That's what he's going to be watching. Now, I want you to watch what this linebacker does and what Dante Moore sees specifically that gives him this indication. As soon as he sees this linebacker, and again, he's looking at him to start. At this point, he's transitioned his head to the corner. That's the quick 1-2 read right there. He knows this slant route is going to be open in this window because of the body language and really just the action that he sees from both the linebacker and the corner in this position. Okay, he sees the linebacker is more of a spy, right? He's flat-footed. Safety, of course, is way deep back here. He's out of the picture. We don't have to worry about him. This linebacker, again, is shading more towards the inside. Obviously, that near hash, not really in the window. Now, if this linebacker, of course, took a step to the left, took this window away, we're obviously moving on to our next read. But this makes me think this is my first read, is really this window right here, seeing that linebacker shade in. Our back is, of course, turned to it. We're starting to shade out to the flat. That, again, is going to give me this beautiful window right in here. It's got to be an accurate throw. It's got to have some zip to it. We got to be able to thread the needle in this window. It's exactly what Dante Moore does, right? Ball is out right when it needs to. 18's trying to recover, not in time. This linebacker is a little bit shallow. The depth isn't as deep as it needs to be, nor is it as far out as it needs to be. That's what creates that window. You put enough zip on this thing, when you have athletes, they can catch this ball and get up and avoid any kind of big contact, big hits. You're not giving them a hospital ball here in the middle that's a floater. We zip this thing in. We obviously have better leverage and depth. We get a huge chunk play on second down. Just a beautiful read out of Dante Moore. Great throw to top it all off. Here we go, baby. Touchdown, house call, man-to-man coverage, no deep safety, little bit of an RPO. We're going to throw this thing off the back foot. We find our guy back of the end zone. I believe that was Sadiq. This thing was beautiful. Loved everything about this. Loved the route from Sadiq. And I love Dante Moore taking what the defense gives you. All right, right off the bat, guys, no deep safety at all. There is nobody back here. We got man-to-man coverage on the outside. All right, USC is going to key run heavily given the formation we're in. Obviously, we have two running backs in the backfield, essentially, a fullback and a tailback. We're going to get just a little bit of you could almost call it play action. I do think this was more of a designed play action as opposed to a run pass option, so RPO. But what I like from Dante Moore is we're still going to sell this fake. All right. He immediately knows these guys, these linebackers are all coming up. They have nobody deep. We have man-to-man coverage. Slant routes and man-to-man coverage, we just talked about it on the past one in a zone coverage. And man-to-man, if they're not shaded to this inside, it's a dangerous route. And again, when you have a tight end like Sadiq and you have talent like Oregon does, it's extremely tough to cover in the open field against anybody, let alone the speed that Oregon has. Love this route. We get a little bit of a jab step to the outside. We leave him just a slight bit of hesitation, right? A little bit of flat-footedness. We're able to just kind of air this route out. Like we can take really as shallow or as deep or as sharp of an angle as we want to because there is nobody deep. These linebackers are already out of the play. There is no way they can drop back and take away. All Dante Moore has to do, is even off the back foot, which we're going to see he does, is just get this thing out there, lead our receiver to an area in the end zone where he can go make a play and run under the ball. We don't need to zip this thing into him. We don't need to anticipate or give a timing throw. We just got to get this thing back there. It's exactly what Dante Moore does. Drop, immediately. He sees it. We have about a yard or two of separation. All we have to do is throw it to a spot, really a wide open spot, nearly half the end zone, and just let Sadiq run up underneath this thing. It's exactly what happens. Beautiful throw. Sadiq gets this thing, holds it up. Touchdown for Oregon. Again, great read out of Dante Moore. Great route. Smart throw. Back foot, just get it to a spot. Doesn't need to be pretty. Just get the ball there. Get it in the end zone. 6 points for the Ducks. Next play here, run game. Love me some counter action. That's exactly what we get. Beautiful blocking. Great run. Now, they did blow this thing dead before we got that second push into the end zone. I think they should have let this thing go a little bit more, but let's get back to the blocking. It wasn't a touchdown. In my opinion, it should have been. Ended up being a touchdown for the Ducks on this drive. But let's watch what exactly happens here on this counter play. We're going to get a little bit of misdirection to the right. We're going to counter this thing back. What I love is we're bringing 3 bodies. We're going to pull here. We're coming around this side, and we're coming here. 3 bodies. Again, USC showing a 2-deep safety look, a little bit of a cover 2 shell. Now we're coming down into the box. We're flat-footed. We got numbers here to make this block. We're obviously coming all the way across the play, and we're back on the goal line. So, I mean, we're 9 yards, nearly 10 yards out of the picture. I want you guys to watch how well Oregon blocks this thing. I mean, this is just a thing of beauty. We get a beautiful seal on the edge here. Exactly what you're supposed to do. Get a little bit of chicken arms around the outside there, but we do a good job not holding on this play. That then leaves 2-on-2 in the gap. Okay? When you have a good running back, as well as athletes that are capable enough of getting in the hole and at least just putting a body, turning your butt one way or another and sealing this thing, that's what's going to happen. We get a beautiful second level block out here. These 2 guys now have to fight around traffic, right? All the way around. You have to take a good angle. You're not coming in full head of steam. It's an awkward angle to at least stop momentum of the carrier. I think that's why we see that extra push coming in, but everything about this already is just gorgeous. I also want you to note, man, look at the offensive line. We're turning this block this way. We're turning this block this way. We're turning it this way. We're sealing that backside edge. We're drawing this play fake out. Obviously, corner's out of the picture. Now, these guys aren't falling for it, but again, that's a lot of ground to have to carry, a lot of traffic to have to try to get through here to make a tackle and stop his forward momentum. All right. Loving everything about this. We get 2 beautiful blocks in the hole, right? Turn this thing out, turn this thing out. Again, great second level blocking. Now all we have to do is just second effort. We get that. Again, they stop us short. Doesn't count as a touchdown. Good forward momentum. Now, I believe they called it because he took forward progress away, but all of our linemen then flow down the field. We get that second effort out of everybody, and what I think should have been a touchdown. But nonetheless, beautiful counter, great design. But more than anything, man, that is gorgeous blocking. Great piece of running on top of it as well for the Ducks. Next play, Dante Moore threading the needle, cover 2. Where do you beat it? Middle of the field. That's exactly where we beat this thing. Just a gorgeous throw. Absolutely love this camera angle, and I was so excited to show this one in particular because of this camera angle to finally get to see a little bit more of a quarterback POV as to what Dante Moore is reading here. So I'm going to walk you guys through it. Again, we're looking at 2 deep safeties, okay? They're obviously not playing all that deep. Now, Sadiq's going to motion. We're gonna find ourselves with a window in the middle of the field, which is usually the case with cover 2. So I'm going to play this for you guys a little bit. Again, we're dropping really just in this middle hook to curl area. We're going to start to make our way out to the flat. We're playing deep second, really deep halves. We're playing deep halves. Again, with cover 2, what does that do? Look at the depth here. We're shallow. We're deep. Middle of the field. Now, the biggest thing about this throw is you have to get it over that first initial level, so your linebackers, but underneath the safeties. However, the way this thing develops, Dante Moore is able to read this. He sees this right away, okay? I want you guys to note, this safety, of course, sees it, right? By the time he turns his hips, both of them, they both notice it. Now, we're almost off the screen over here, but by the time they turn their hips, they're going to start making a play on the ball. So Dante Moore, very good quarterbacking, he's already in the throwing motion. He's already getting ready to throw this ball. It's a timing route. You got to thread this needle. You got to time it right. You got to have enough velocity. You also have to have enough air. You got to get it over a little bit of traffic here, and you got to put this thing where only your guy can get it. He can go make a play. Now, he might take a pop. If you have safeties that are fast and can adapt, turn the hips quick, we might get a pop, but this is just a thing of beauty, you guys. Look at this. Just like we talked about, over that initial level, over the linebackers. We're not going to be able to get there in time. Now, this thing does float just a little bit, but again, this is an extremely tough throw to make. Extremely tough with a pocket closing in. Now, yes, it was a clean pocket, all things considered, but still, I want to stress the level of difficulty. Although these guys make it look so easy, this is not an easy throw. Again, this safety's tailing from the back. We're tailing here. That is not a lot of room for error to put it in a window right here for your guy to go make a play. And Dante Moore does exactly that. We beat a cover 2 right down the middle. By the time 24 gets there, this thing is over his head. It's a hands catch. Just a thing of beauty. We're not even really in the mix. You know, we're still getting there. We're a yard or two behind this ball. By the time 24 gets there, we've bodied him up. We catch this thing, absorb the contact, touchdown for the Ducks. Beautiful. Last play I'm going to show you guys here, a little bit more love to the run game, man. We get motion, man-to-man coverage. We find this blocking to be beautiful, and we find pay dirt in the end zone. Dagger essentially in this game right here. Just beautiful. Everything about this. So let's look at what USC is showing us. Again, no deep safety. No deep safety at all. This is a cover 0 look. They are heavily keying on the run, but it does not matter. All right, friends. Almost really 5 down. Like, we're pressed up on the line here on Sadiq. We're pressed up on the line. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Really, you could almost say 6. Then we have our 3 linebackers. We have 1 safety who, again, is more so in the box. Now, when you get this short of a field, that's typically going to be the case. You're not going to have a safety sitting all the way in the end zone, so to speak, but he's not even on the goal line. And then we have our corner pressed up. Obviously, we're out here in coverage. What's going to happen, though, is we're going to see a motion that's going to indicate man-to-man coverage. Now, we can probably delineate that from what we already see, but we're going to motion him. That's going to take really 1 less guy out of the equation. We're going to motion all the way across. Let me delete that. All right. And I want you guys to pay attention. This is just straight up mono run blocking. No pulling, no nothing. Like, we're just going to seal out the edge here. We're going to get a body on a body there. We're going to get a body here, and we're going to block down and seal that edge. This is just straight up blocking. There is nothing fancy. There's no pulls. There is nothing going on with this. Now, USC doesn't do themselves any favor. Really no stunts. Of course, no blitz coming, if at all. We get maybe, you could almost say like a corner blitz, or he could just be pressing Sadiq off the line to then try and seal the outside here since that motion's coming. But really nothing fancy going on. And you're going to start to see this gap widen. Now, the biggest thing I want you to note, these 2 linebackers are shifting way too far to the left side. They're losing leverage to the middle of the field. They're getting outside of a lot of this traffic, but that's what this motion does. When you have speed like that, that motion can start to get those linebackers, not only their eyes following the backfield, but even their bodies, right? You get even just a little bit of flow to this side. When this gap opens up and the traffic starts to get bad in here, I hope you enjoy my scribbling there, that then creates a hole that we can hit. And that's exactly what happens, right? By the time we even diagnose this thing, we are almost sealed out of the picture. And I want you to watch this block right here. We push this thing so deep into the second level where we essentially get a 2-for-1 on this block. Same kind of concept. We're too far to the right side. Our defensive lineman's just getting bullied into us, which never helps, creates more traffic. That then creates the gap. Again, this is just a thing of beauty. I mean, we get essentially a 2-for-1 here. We get a beautiful triage of blocks there. We're able to squeeze right through this gap. 25, who we mentioned earlier, who shifted a little bit too far outside following this motion that was going out there, as well as the corner and man-to-man coverage, not even looking at what's going on. That then creates numbers. It's a mismatch. By the time 25 gets there, we're not going to make a play. Oregon's in the end zone. Run game had themselves a day. That's all I got for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed the film review. I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. If you like the content, comment, subscribe, like the video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.